table, but as is Morgana. So we could see either one of the two picked up, but first, Afreeca want to get themselves the Akali. I don't know if that'll be for Sun or if it will be for Keen up there in the top. Okay, well, now I definitely think that it is going to be for Keen unless that Talia is going jungle.
It could. I mean, there's a lot of flexing that could happen. Obviously, Akali top and mid, Talia mid and jungle, or even bottom lane, you know? Would be kind of crazy, but
Kalista. Yeah, that would be quite crazy. Unless it would be a Talia support, but probably don't expect to see that by any means.
Look at that. We're trying to add on the pain as if the Ezreal wasn't enough. How about a Teddy Bane game in game 2?
And this is really interesting here as Vayne now locked in for SK Telecom as we move into the second ban phase. You can really pinch the support pool. So Morgana is still on the table, as is Thresh, and there's the Thresh ban. And now if you're Afreeca, I do suppose that you try to pinch the mid lane champion pool. Maybe a Syndra ban could be on the table.
And they already took the LeBlanc. They were not happy about Faker on that pick for game 1. And Zoe is going to be the first ban here in the second phase. So, once again, another one of those mid-champions.
Zoe does bite the dust.
We got 3 squishies already on the side of Afreeca. How do you feel about a Zed game? You get Zed in here? Why not?
Well,
that's a lot of AD.
That's a lot of physical damage.
Yeah.
You would need a very heavy-hitting magic damage jungler like Karthus to come in
Are we seeing the future?
all of that physical damage that is present, because Afreeca has 3 really squishy champs that would be very susceptible to a Karthus building 33 magic penetration and then pressing the R key. Could we see it? Probably not. It's SK Telecom. So, yeah, Lee Sin. So let's keep stacking on that physical damage.
It's physical damage, but in a different way.
Which probably means that Syndra is going to end up rounding out this composition.
Yeah.
Although, with the enormous lack of CC present on Afreeca, Kassadin...
What is Shelly's face, by the way?
Isn't even all that bad right now. It's been a very long time since we've seen the Rift Walker. I've
seen it in solo queue a lot. Just
yeah, you do sometimes. He's been walking a lot of rifts.
Sure.
He wanted to confirm if Logan Paul's flattery.
What is going on here?
Correct, as I no longer know where any of these champions are going. Actually,
Jelly had a big smile on his face.
All right.
Okay.
So,
but you're not throwing a Talia into the fight. This is calm.
Well, it's gonna be support Morgana with Kalista, Elise jungle, Talia mid, and then Akali top, so that your Kalista, if she gets set behind, can then proceed to do nothing. However, with this amount of CC now being added by the Morgana and the Elise, I mean, Kassadin is actually fantastic here. Will they choose Kassadin? He would be so slippery and incapable of being held down, but instead we're actually going to get to see Faker's Azir. This is actually a dream scenario for Kassadin. I can't get over the fact that he wasn't just picked.
I mean, this is a composition of 5 mega squishies on the side of Afreeca that could have just been dominated by a lot of other picks.
Yeah.
They decide to go for Azir.
It really feels like SK Telecom actually had the pick of the litter here, moving into the last 2 picks.
Really, they did.
Which I think is actually a testament to how fragile Afreeca's draft is here. And obviously the explosiveness is fantastic.
Yeah.
If any of these Afreeca champions get ahead, they can really snowball and accelerate very fast. But this is the epitome of a mono-red composition.
Certainly does feel that way. It's you get a pick and you assassinate that guy immediately. They die right away.
Yeah.
If anything lands.
Look at this. Akali, Elise, Talia, and Kalista are all sharing a team with the Morgana. This is the girls' night out.
It is.
This is the girls' club. This is girls' generation.
Jelly was getting excited. He had a big smile on his face. He knew it was coming.
Oh, man.
They're going to start dancing to G, baby, baby, baby. It's coming, guys.
On the side of SK Telecom, though, Vayne, Alistar, Azir, Lee Sin, and Jace for Khan. Do you think that maybe Vayne and Alistar both just have red eyes?
Well, we don't know about Vayne, right?
What about
she always
Lee
has
Sin's eyes?
goggles on.
What if he has red eyes?
You know who does have red eyes? It's
Who?
a colleague. Yeah, I saw that the other day.
Really?
Yeah, she does.
Okay.
So we got a couple of red eyes in here. We'll see if they can do much in game number 2. Let's hop into it now. The auto attack not quite there, but they do have the scanner. Trying to get more value out of it, but they're actually just going for the invade. They're just like, yeah, let's do it, guys. You know, get in there with some wards and go for the extremely early invade with all of their pick.
So here's the other thing about this, is that if Afreeca's team composition falls behind in the slightest and the Mercury Treads begin coming out on the side of SK Telecom, because of the massive amount of CC that was added in the last 2 picks for Afreeca, then everything really just gets a damper put on it. None of their champions are going to be dealing any damage in the mid game. Kalista is not going to have her 2 items available, and Azir is just going to have a field day, accompanied with the Vayne. And so right now,
18 games at least, by the
yeah,
way.
what we're seeing here is that SK Telecom, they're trying to bring their Vayne and Azir win rates to 50%. What a good time to do it.
Dread is really not giving up on this, by the way. So I don't care if it's 2. Do you want to miss all your lane? Is this what you want?
Well, they're just going to send Mata over, and
yeah, it's going to buy a lot of time for Clid to get here.
This is fine. I don't know what Afreeca's actually doing. Clid already has level 2.
He doesn't have smite, but it's enough zoning to deny that, and the gambit is up.
All right, Teddy gets the blue buff. Cool.
What?
He's
like, yeah, I need the XP. I missed a lot in the lane, so thank you very much. I'll take the blue.
And Dread, you can see, actually rubbed his head really quick. He doesn't seem to know maybe what he's going to do now, as Lee Sin is going to have complete dominance over all of the jungle now. He's going to get this Scuttle Crab. That'll be his 3rd camp. Should have been his 4th. But Teddy had different plans in mind. Oh, man. Oh, this is such a nightmare.
Coming on in. Cocoon misses. Just spending time clearing out a ward, essentially. At least Sun's doing some damage in the mid lane.
Sun is doing actually a fantastic job at poking Faker. And getting some priority, actually, for Dread. And so now Clid not able to go crab to crab. This is a really big win for Afreeca, as Dread is getting bailed out of the current situation. Aiming in Jelly as well. Getting a plate already. Good Black Shield.
Yeah. Now Morgana, you were talking about it for the support role. Can be pretty nice up against the Alistar engage. You can deny whoever Alistar goes on if you're fast enough. And, well, here's Clid again. He's got smite. He's going to get the kill, probably. Dread going to be forced to flash this one. Does he even do it is the question. He's going to repel first. Is the timing there?
Oh,
yes,
Khan!
It is from Khan. Down from the lane. First blood easily to Khan.
And that's a red buff on Jace. This is one of the worst things to ever imagine happening, and now Aiming and Jelly not wanting to be outdone. Getting themselves into a really explosive trade down here.
Quite a nice trade, Mata.
Yeah.
Chunked down. We do have to mention that Keen did go Cloth 5. Cloth 5 pots. And it's slowly becoming more and more common against Jace on, especially Akali and Vladimir, the 2 that can kind of say, hey, I can go Cloth, and it's not going to affect my build all that much.
Just barely missed out on the pin into the tree. And so Teddy and Mata, they just want to get this last wave crashing. This is all that they can do right now.
Okay, Dread is going to make his way down, but who's chasing who as Klid is coming in? They want to turn this around. Oh, it's going to land on a Telly as the repel gets the Lulu, or rather the Morgana killed. Still reliving those Lulu days as Jelly dies again. And Khan even coming down and going for more.
This SK Telecom getting themselves a lot of advantage. Oh, just manages to avoid the Lee Sin Q, but it doesn't matter. The damage is done in bottom lane as all the pressure relief has now come in.
They want to delay Jace's back as long as possible at least, so that the red buff in the top lane is not getting as much time.
Good coming over onto mid lane. Seeing Sun on that Talia. Let's take a look at this again. And this is a fantastic timing. The reason that Dread is down here in the bottom lane is because Afreeca are threatening a freeze, which is why Klid is pathing down here to prevent the freeze from being able to be engaged by Afreeca. And so it's a very good series of events for SK Telecom as they prevent that freeze from being able to be executed by Afreeca.
Ooh, Smite is going to go the way of Dread this time as Klid. Looks like he got a little bit too ahead of himself there. Even the Talia hitting level 6 and making it down for the play before the Azir can even say hi.
And so Dread has managed to claw his way now back into the game. They're almost on even footing, which is really disastrous, all things considered. SK Telecom are definitely still in the driver's seat, though. Teddy. Down a level to aiming, but very close to leveling up.
Yeah. Part of that is the early game, of course, where Teddy missed a ton of CS helping out of the blue. Did take the blue, but still a bit behind. I'm going to take another look here at the replay where, again, Klid trying to go 1v2.
Yeah, I'm really not sure what he was trying to do here. He wanted to win the smite, but it's just not worth it. Even getting modest flash at the end there. And right now, everything is sort of stabilizing, and Afreeca are finding themselves in an okay position, especially given all the turmoil that unfolded early on.
It's not so bad, and as you mentioned, that's kind of their lifeline, right? If they get behind and they go up against Mercs, the game is in a disastrous spot. So the fact that they're able to hang on is actually of the utmost importance, so that they just don't lose the game right in the early game. And all the pleasure to them. I mean, they're doing pretty well to catch up and be winning, especially in the bottom lane here.
And looks like Keen wants to go in for a trade here against Khan. It's a little small skirmish. Meanwhile, down in bottom lane, this is where Teddy's having a lot of issues. Aiming and Jelly looking to crash this wave now on the turret. Try to convert this into yet another plate. Sun and Dread are here too. There is no aid coming to Teddy or Mata.
Yeah. Might have spotted the Elise on the control ward at Baron, or rather Dragon. Looks like Sun was able to clear that one out, but it's just another plate that does go the way of Afreeca in the bottom side, and that gold difference is going to be massive as the game comes along.
Aiming, continuing to just endlessly shove in this wave, not quite able to get the third plate just yet. Khan still struggling to also get his own up in top, as Afreeca look to capitalize on the first Ocean Drake of the game. And that is the first plate going over to Khan.
Yeah. Ocean not going to be so bad. Can just continue with the pressure. And the next one's going to be Infernal, so if they can roll a good laning phase into taking Infernal and getting ahead, things, once again, we'll say it, do not look half bad here for Afreeca.
Faker up almost 20 CS in the middle lane, but there is a wave coming in onto Sun. 700 gold advantage is what SK Telecom find themselves with. Really good poke by Khan.
Yeah. Great play there, just reading that he would come straight at him. Able to just throw one into the mist. Do exactly. As there is a ward to spot Clid in the top side.
Lee Sin being spotted out as Sun Now and Dread make their way onto the left-hand side. They know exactly what's going on. They don't seem interested in trying to do a counter or a match gank, so everyone just backing up, recalling. Although now Dread, after consuming the Gromp, Agatha makes his way to the top half. Keen trying to bait it.
Yeah. It's not going to happen, though. As Khan smartly, after that one, knows that the top of your end, he needs his own items. Look at the poke. Just a couple of autos and Q here from aiming. He's having a ball in the bottom side. May net himself his third plate of the game at the same time. Even the poke from the Morgana, as small as it may seem, is quite nice to even add to the effect.
That last turret plate does end up getting picked up. Still 3 minutes remaining on the plates. 3 minutes until the Infernal Dragon comes up as well. That should be an extremely high priority dragon for both of these teams. Especially if Elise continues on into a glass cannon. Full-on AP Elise. Lots of poke. Teddy and Mata having a pretty difficult time down here in bottom. As the fourth turret plate looks to be captured.
We're getting close, that's for sure. As there's absolutely nothing that Vayne Alistair can do in this lane. As Baker gonna get flashed on here. He's got Clid nearby, but I have news for you. Tilia's pretty fast, but how about Khan from the top side? Heal and Flash gonna be expended, but Khan doesn't give a damn. Gonna shut him down and pick up his second kill of the game as okay, Dread. You're looking to get fancy on the right side. Nice little catch-up. Gonna trade the kill 1-for-1.
1-for-1, which is a nice salvage of the situation. Faker also going to be unable to convert this into turret plates, most likely, because Dread is holding down the fort in mid. And then because Keen wasn't able to crash the wave as well, no plate's going to be found there, but Afreeca, they might get the last turret plate down in bottom.
Hey, absolutely. And it's not even just turret plates, it's massive amount of health on the bottom lane too. Mata has to back away. Looks like SKT, okay, well they do have Clid coming down, but good positioning from Dread to be here at the same time. But
that's a deep TP.
The TP, they probably did not see this, and Afreeca could be baited into a massive fight. Dread, he's gonna be stuck back and forth, and that guy, okay, trying to get on the top side, but he's not gonna get away, but the wall is fantastic here from Sun to take Khan out on the bottom side. That means that Keen can continue pushing in the top.
Keen is trying to get as many plates as he possibly can right now in the next 55 seconds. We'll see how many he can end up getting. That was almost really clean by SK Telecom. Had Clid hit his resonating strike, it would have been a much different story down there in bottom, but now Afreeca.
Look at the pressure here.
They pick themselves up. The first turret of the game, as well as that final plate in bottom. This Callista is massive. She is a rogue planet right now.
Oh, man. Sounds big.
It's quite big. Do you know what a rogue planet is, Valdez?
No, I don't.
They're random planets that aren't attached to a star.
Oh, okay.
Just roam the universe.
I see.
All right.
Dread kind of doing his own thing like a rogue planet. Did I use the reference correctly?
No.
Okay, I see.
No synergy. What?
Yeah, good replay.
That was a really good replay there.
Well done, guys. That's
what
good.
The shopkeeper thought of everything that was happening. That's what we really had to pay attention to there. As SK Telecom are nowhere near being in position to stop this Infernal Drake.
Yeah. Aiming is, we made jokes about Keen being sarcastic towards aiming getting the first pick Callista. but he's got the most farm in the game, and now he's got an Infernal Drake, and Faker is going towards the fight. He's going to get blasted out of this universe. See you later is here. He's not able to do anything. Keen starting the Rift Herald, and can this crazy squishy glass cannon come from Afreeca actually work?
Well, Kalista she's quite big, and she's the only source of physical damage that is present on Afreeca's side, and there's going to be absolutely zero resistances against her in the later stages. And a lot of the members on SK Telecom, they are close quarter combat, even though they have the option to go into poke mode via the Azir and the Jace. Keen coming down here in bot lane, clear out the wave.
Look at that gold from Blades. And, I mean, that doesn't even include the turret that was taken first and the second one up here. Proximity gold also going to aiming. It's just like this guy is, I think he's like 2.5 thousand gold ahead of the Vayne, if I just saw that correctly.
It's an all right.
It's 15 minutes into the game.
No, I'm not that impressed. He doesn't have 15 plates inside him, so, you know. Take a look at what just happened here as Faker. He wasn't going anywhere.
He had to dodge the seismic shove. That's why he went for the short one, but then didn't see the entire team of Afreeca making their way down, so got caught out. Keep in mind, guys, that we still have Rift Herald, and now it's Dread. Seemingly alone, does have a Taliyah coming in. Is the bait real? Khan trying his best with the Hex Drinker. Mount Mortius even, but it's not going to be enough for the 3-on-1 that Afreeca are able to pull off.
3 point. Oh, man. That was looking like maybe some sparks were about to fly inside of that Tribe Rush. But nothing ends up happening. Will the Rift Herald just be summoned up here? Doesn't seem like it. SK Telecom, they do still have the scaling component inside of the Azir and the Vayne, if they can get there. That is going to be the question, as Afreeca, almost a 4,000 gold lead for themselves, if they manage to capture the next turret.
Yeah. And the majority of that is inside the Kalista, so it's a scary thought when you see that she's already at 2 items here at 17 minutes. Aiming, if a fight begins and he can free deal, everybody's done.
Yes.
Every single person. Rift Herald, I mentioned, is going to come down here. Faker doing his best to push him back with the soldiers, as is Khan. And in fact, does do a nice little amount of damage. They're not going to overcommit with the Rift Herald, so just the charge in the mid lane is all they're going to get out of Shelly this game.
And so now, find ourselves probably entering into a lull state. Take another quick look at this. Khan trades onto Dread immediately, but ends up eating a cocoon, tries to deal as much damage as he possibly can. Just doesn't matter, as all of those Afreeca champions are all over him. Sun now pushing in the wave into top lane, is immediately met by Teddy, who seems very keen on just shoving it right back and playing ping pong.
Yeah, it's going to do exactly that. And Teddy, after his superstar Ezreal performance, boy, did he have a challenge waiting for him in Game 2. As it's Kalista Morgana time in the bottom lane after a wonky start. And so he hasn't been able to get at least close to the amount of farm that aiming has been able to get. At least he's the same level, both level 11. That's about all he's got going for him here. See if he can do some crazy Vayne things as the game goes on.
Keen down there in the bottom lane, 2-level advantage as well over the Jace. And it's really hard for me to imagine how an SKT...
Ooh, nice play from Sun. Able to get on in there. Gunblade finish for Keen. And with the wall and SKT out of position, that means that another turret falls 3-0 in favor of Afreeca.
4.5k gold lead almost here for Afreeca in game number 2. And honestly, if we came into the draft and we saw the opening that Clid was able to find himself with, and if you told me that this would be the end result of the game, or this would be what the game state is at 20 minutes, probably wouldn't believe it. As everything is just going Afreeca's way after the early game debacle.
Okay, and once again, Khan's going to be in a really rough spot. Jelly able to land that ultimate, and she's going to get out of range there of the turret. Trying to counter up in the top side. Good pick here from Clid. Means that they will hand over that kill to Teddy. Get a little zoom in there, as once again, that is kind of SKT's way back into this one, alongside Faker.
It's a very bizarre trade. They might end up giving up the Baron. Oh
yeah.
No.
Looks like it. I mean, there's no way they can get there on time. Look at all the pings. It's almost like they didn't even calculate this. They're saying, oh no, we got to get in there. They're running past turrets.
Valdez.
It's going to go down.
Oh.
There you go. They don't even have to smite it, as Clint didn't even have smite. It's going to go their way as Faker. You got to be careful, buddy. Set Gunblade. But he should be fine, and that means that everybody on the side of SKT should be picking up that Baron.
And so now with the Baron buffs, look at all the magic resist on the side of SK Telecom right now. We'll take another look at how this all ended up transpiring, and Keen coming in with a nice trade onto Khan. Jelly asking Khan if he's heard of Rihanna. Gets locked up right at the end there, but then Sun dabbling into enemy territory a little bit too far.
I love the way Clint plays that.
Gets kicked back into Teddy, and how decisive of SK Telecom to assess the situation and make the Baron call.
Oh, nice. Emperor's Divine there. Did he bait Mana, though? Thankfully, the binding goes wide, otherwise that cow was going to die. Faker waiting until the Talia got in range to just push them both back. Had to flash, though, to get away.
Well, Clid now going to clear out some vision on the left-hand side. Baron will persist for another 2 minutes. But there's not really too many objectives that SK Telecom can capture with it, most likely, except for perhaps the top tier 1. They are ways away from being able to raise the bottom tier 1, and without a minion wave, it would be a little bit difficult to do any more than that. 2000.
Oh boy, here we go again. Faker is going to be knocked up. No flash, no escape, and no line. He is going to go down. His aiming finds another. This guy is 4-0-1 right now. The Kalista pain train continues. Oh, good binding too. Not going to follow up on that one, though.
Teddy trying to clear out that bot minion wave. Gold advantage 3,500 now for Afreeca. Another Ocean. Man.
I don't know what it is about today.
These are a lot of Ocean Drakes. As Faker, you have to ask yourself what he's doing. He doesn't have a minion wave in mid. He has Baron on himself. Who cares if you have vision of that brush? Who cares if the opponents have vision of that brush? But he ends up getting brought down. And the game is about to be reset to the state it was in just a few moments prior. 3.5k gold lead still for Afreeca. As SK Telecom, they're still waiting on item completions. Not really sure where Khan's going with his build. It looks like he wants to get a Black Cleaver, rather than just going into lethality.
Does look that way. As just one chip for the Jace. And now we're going hunting. We talked about what Afreeca can do from ahead with this kind of crazy burst and pick composition. I mean, one cocoon or binding lands or a seismic shove, that guy's dead.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter who it is, even if it's Mata, I think. It might be close with that ultimate, but still getting really close, which is hard to do against an Alistar. So I like the composition from ahead, and they have secured a lead, so does make it an interesting game. Imagine if SKT just got ahead. As Keen coming on in here. Now we're engaging onto Jelly. Bit of damage going the way.
Fight.
Okay, Khan versus Keen in the bottom side. Not even sure who wins that one. Looking the way of Keen so far. And now they're going on to Mata. This is what I was saying. They caught him.
Teddy!
They're going to do it well, but Teddy able to come in here and assassinate one guy on the main with that invisibility. So they are able to trade it back 1-for-1, and Afreeca will concede the Ocean Drake.
Give up the Ocean Drake. Cloud will be.
For a second, I'm like, there's no way that's a fourth Ocean. What? I can't believe my eyes.
The game bugs out for a second. It's so
like, what?
Oh, man.
Oh, Keen. He's getting baited. He doesn't have the damage, but he does touch. The Ember's Divine is now Khan's going back in, but the tip damage is too much. 400 gold to the Azir in the mid lane.
And the game is looking like it's starting to slip away from Afreeca. That's going to be another turret falling. Faker, level 15, although Sun did just hit it himself. Top tier 2 turret looking like it will fall, as Aiming makes his way up to the top side.
Lease also in that spider form with the attack speed steroid can get on top of those turrets and actually do a nice job of tipping them down.
He has teleport available. He is up in 12 seconds. Faker still on the bottom half of the map. We'll see if he wants to recall, if he wants to stick around for something. It looks like he's...
This is the epitome of this composition, but actually nothing lands. It still doesn't matter. As Khan even flashed away, and they still got him.
Yeah, if he ends up dying here, no objectives actually get changed. His death timer aligns reasonably well with the Baron, and he has the teleport available. So, really poor decision of him to try to flash and live there, as he doesn't have a bounty, he's not protecting anything, and now he's just going to be flashless come Baron. Baker.
Yep, that is true.
Did need the extra gold from the Gromp, able to complete the Banshee's Veil. That is a lot of magic resistance, and obviously the passive.
Well, they're going to try to start the Baron here with 10 seconds left on Khan. May actually not be enough. That... What the...
They don't
Sun wall,
have a mountain.
He tried to get over the wall, but he failed, so that Talia damage is totally out.
Oh, man. They just have no damage to do the Baron, and this is one of the problems that the comp will find itself in, as Aiming is the only real way to get through the Baron until you have a lot more items. And so now Khan is up, down a flash, but, you know.
I feel like if Talia was there, maybe you can threaten, but, I mean, it's not even really the way you want to be playing this.
Oh, man.
Now it's SKT's turn. They do have Vayne and Azir.
Oh, that's...
Okay, Shock Blast isn't going to hit anyone, though. Jelly making his way in.
Oh, we got hit!
He's going to get the binding onto the jungler. Oh, that was so close, Clid. Thank God for the Merc Treads. Thank yourself. Good purchase. As, that's going to get him out of harm's way, just barely.
Well, that's to be really careful right now. Faker trying to do whatever poke he possibly can. Bottom lane is also really good right now for Afreeca.
Just pushing on in. And you were talking a little bit about the magic resist items, or rather the magic penetration items is what I wanted to go over here. Double Void Staff, you'll notice, on the side of Akali and Elise. They both predicted the magic resist stacking, and they chose the correct item. The Morellonomicon for the Talia feels kind of core, but maybe could have just also gone into the Void Staff too. Yeah,
definitely think the Morello is a relatively poor purchase. I'll just call a spade there. Definitely should have just been a Void Staff. You can argue that maybe the HP is a little bit beneficial. Well, could have just stayed on an Oblivion Orb if you wanted to do that. Didn't need to complete all the way. And so now you see the Hex Drinkers on the side of SK Telecom as well, as Vayne's getting in on the action.
Okay,
Block until Iron Solari.
Just 1v1 this? Well, they have vision of it now, so... is it going to matter, though? Take a look at the Ren stacks, the Ren setting that's beginning. And just getting into that Baron.
Well, this is a cool champion.
Seeing the stacking.
Yeah, there's no way.
The wall comes in. And it doesn't look like Clint unless he gets the Miracle Steal. Absolutely not. is not going to be able to. They're trying to get on top of Keen, though. They knock him out of the shroud.
They should have Keen.
Okay, they get Keen, and the flash on in is going to get a double flash, but take a look at Teddy. Do they have enough CC to get onto this Vayne?
Teddy got jelly.
I don't think so. Teddy able to pick up one. Clint able to help out there. Great seismic shove to get Vayne out of, or rather the chase out of range, but a couple of kills do go the way of SKT here.
They do get 2 Barons off of some of the Afreeca members, and one of them is the really key one, the Akali, who would love to just be split pushing, and then backed up by the Weaver's Wall. SKT don't seem like they want to back down. As they're continuing to shove on, they raise yet another turret. Now they're looking for Dread.
Where are you
they found him.
Well, they found the Elise, but okay.
Oh, can Teddy actually get on him? Teddy has flash.
Okay, the shock blast was a little bit far, but the flash comes in. They want to get on top of Dread here. The immediate cleanse says no, and Teddy is going to be able to shut down the Spider.
And now Clid, he's going to get this Clown Drake, and that will end up spawning the Elder Dragon, which is another major... Oh, unless 10 Jelly. Never mind. Never mind.
Yeah, not this time. You'll notice that Talia's third item is going to be that void staff, so eventually it gets even more penetration.
And this is one of the things that's so interesting for me, is if SK Telecom are so okay with fighting against Afreeca, why did they not do it a little bit sooner? Afreeca with a beautiful call, though, to have the solo Kalista do the Baron. It's honestly always such a nice thing to see when people are so aware of what their champions are capable of at certain points in the game. And then SK Telecom, they bite back by taking down 3 of the members in the end that have the Baron. And so now aiming one of the main centerpieces of the Baron, but not quite a Baron power play as they are down gold.
A Baron penalty kill.
Go to jail.
Yeah.
Do not pass go. That's exactly what
Get
it
in
is.
the box. It's kind of where SKT put them with a couple of kills. They're down a couple of men, and now Afreeca say we're going to just push the top lane with our Baron. SKT going to be forced to respond here. Faker, though, doing his duty in the mid lane.
Maul of Malmortius and Locket of the Iron Solari completed now. On the side of SK Telecom, Afreeca has to be really careful in these fights now.
Here comes Faker from behind, but
Keen's
take a
not
look
here.
at aiming. Take a look at aiming, already getting that poke down with the TP. Coming on in to kick, but Clint not able to do much. Look at Sun on the top side going down, but aiming with the GA. Going 1v2 on the bottom side. Takes out 2, but Teddy is still alive. It's the battle of the 80 carries, but the Baron buff seems to be too strong in this one as Afreeca are continuing to push.
It looks like actually Afreeca want to try to end the game here against SKT. Instead, aiming gonna hop his way over to the bottom inhibitor. And will SK Telecom try to save it?
Doesn't look like they can. They're so scared of aiming. He's got GA, he's got Bloodthirster. I think he has 7 kills now. If not, it's 6, but this guy is stacked in this game.
Very awkward position to be in. It's not that common in pro play to lose top and bottom inhibitors alone. As we see how this whole fight unfolds, Khan, a little bit too far forward, ends up losing 55% of his life right as the fight starts. Mata not able to get the kind of dream engage one would hope for. Faker end up getting clapped on the right-hand side. They get the flash out of Keen. The one silver lining, I suppose, in this fight is that everyone expended a lot of summoners, and Afreeca does have a reliance on them a little bit more than SK Telecom does. Oh,
what
no.
is this?
Clid.
It's a scuttle crab. Oh, that's huge. I mean, it goes the way of Afreeca anyway. They're able to get that pick, and now they're going to push 5v4 in the mid lane. It's pretty late in the game already, 34 minutes, so we got 40 seconds until Clid respawns.
We'll see if they can actually hold on until Clid can get there, as Elder and Baron are both coming up. Baron can convert into Elder if you have the ability to burst it fast enough. But now Teddy is going to need to be a hero inside of a team fight. As Afreeca, maybe they just want to end the game.
Well.
Oh, okay.
Tanking it, yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
Just getting in there first. I mean, he's got so much life steal at this point anyway. Play the Rune King Bloodthirster, he's got a shield. He has GA. And he's got a team behind him, including Black Shields. Not sure what SKT is going to do against this. It feels like the Kalista that we've seen banned so many times, time and time and again, gets picked here first and might just be the key to Afreeca's victory.
Well, SK Telecom are going to have to posture around the Baron, which is coming up in 10 seconds. Fortunately for them, they have managed to fix the lanes well enough that one super minion in bottom is not going to be the most threatening. Just by itself, Faker going to be able to clear out the super minion wave in top.
Telecom's doing his best to put on the poke here. He does have TP, could go to the bottom side and try to stop the push. But it looks like it's going to be Faker's job, in fact, because it is Azir.
Oh, I think they just want to trade Elder.
Oh, well, Afreeca say not so fast there, SKT,
oh, man.
But can they do it
What
fast
a gambit.
enough? Oh, are they going to get it in time? Maybe not. The wall's going to come in here, and Faker's not there with the team just yet, as they may have just leased it.
That's a lot of poke.
Okay. Going to be restarted here. Might just come down.
Kalista can't get enough Ren stack.
Yeah, she's not going to be able to. It's going to come down to the smite. Look at the damage going the way of Afreeca, and it's going to go to SKT.
SK Telecom, they're going to get the Baron now to
Teddy. Oh, Teddy.
Oh, that's really, really close.
Okay, they got the Elder, but they took a bit of damage here, especially Teddy.
Yeah, now aiming should be able to get the Baron, but they are life-stealing back up Faker on janitor duty inside of the base. Teddy, he heals up quite well off these Raptors. Wow.
Yeah, he's going to be full health, and it's going to come down to the engage. Here we go, 4v4. They're going to try to get onto Jelly, who is kind of all alone. Takes a huge amount of damage. He's burning down even. Gets really close, but SKT are able to stop the Baron.
They are tied in gold right now. Well, it's at the top. SK Telecom with that Elder Dragon. It's going to persist for another minute and a half. Faker going to get this blue buff. And I guess he has Transcendence because the blue just gave him AP. So that's interesting.
Looks like it. Here we go again, but this time it's warded. And it could turn into a 5v5, but can they get there on time? Jace pretty fast. Mata and Clid are nearby, but the Ren set coming in. Doesn't look like it's going to be on time. Can Clid get the Miracle Steal? He's going to get it against Rens! How does he do it? And how does aiming not get the Baron?
And he managed to live too.
Oh, man.
They have Elder for one more minute and the Baron. Khan's going to go back. And this is such a turn of events.
Unbelievable.
SK Telecom now barreling down mid.
Yeah.
30 seconds still remaining on the Elder Dragon. Weaver's Wall trying to hold them off as long as possible. The wave in mid lane is still far away.
I cannot believe that SKT has somehow been able to dig out of this massive hole that they were in, up against the Kalista that looked unstoppable. And we got to see the replay. How was that missed? I just don't understand.
There was the patch where the Rend was nerfed.
Yes.
Against the well, not just Baron, but just in general.
Yeah.
So we'll have to see how much the Rend damage actually was. But, oh man. This is
Here we go.
quite. This is definitely something else. Click goes in here. It is at 20. Where's the Rend?
Oh, 34? I think it was a 34 smite. I think he rended it down to 34, and then Clid smited it at 34. That's what I saw. I feel like I have to watch that replay like 3 or 4 times, but that's what I saw. Not 100% sure if I'm correct, but hot damn.
All right,
Clid's got some kind of mechanics.
Now at this point, SK Telecom still with the Baron buff for a minute and a half. They're looking to posture around the left-hand side of the map. 3 open, exposed inhibitors. As Dread is a little bit preoccupied getting the Scuttle Crab on the right-hand side.
Yeah.
He's going to recall.
And we've seen a lot of base races happen in the LCK, but I feel like that happens most of the time when the top laner's an on-hit, just auto-attacker that can just destroy turrets really fast. Keen on the Akali is not really that kind of pick. Although he does have the TP, there are no wards in there, no minions are pushing in either. So
still a minute remaining on this Baron. Aiming does a pretty good job at clearing out the wave. Faker having to be forced to retreat a little bit. Clid trying to get level 18 perhaps on the right-hand side. Not sure what his XP bar is at. Tapping these Baron minions as well. Sun taking way too much damage.
We called them the team of super squishies, and now they're going up against Vayne and Azir that are level 18 and have 5 items in the game. You step just half a step, half a Teemo too close. You might just die.
Here's the thing about this is that the follow-up Elder, the mid and top inhibitors on the side of Afreeca just went down. So these are the furthest proximity inhibitors to the upcoming Elder Dragon, which means that SK Telecom have the luxury of being able to just posture around it until Afreeca have to send a champion to answer it. Now, fortunately for Afreeca, they do have the teleport available on Keen. Weaver's Wallace, who does close quite a lot of distance. But it is still going to be a hurdle for them to overcome. One pick, though, at this stage of the game can just spell lights out for either team.
It's very true. And both sides do have that ability. But it's late game now, you know. There's a QSS finish, or rather a cleanse on Teddy. There's double stopwatch on Clid and on Khan. Because now it looks like Afreeca just want to go down mid here before the Elder spawns. But now they're trying to go from behind as Teddy leading the charge. Already just one auto attack. Look at that. He has to flash away.
They got both his summoners.
Yeah. And
Keen.
oh man, Keen's alone down here. He TP'd into the backside of SKT.
Oh, he's been found.
Oh, nice little play here. Gonna be able to use his shuriken to get back to the shroud. Nicely done.
Dread.
Take a look at Dread. He's like, okay.
He's on a mission. That's Spider-Woman. She's trying to do whatever she possibly can. Faker had enough of that,
there, yep. Faker is going to get cocooned. Does have cleanse himself, and it looks like Elder is going to be given over to SKT. Meanwhile, Faker not going to pursue. Won't be using his flash to catch the Elise. They'll just bank on a 5-minute Elder buff.
It's an all right duration. Valdez.
I think it's okay.
Yeah, I think it's all right.
Afreeca were like, yeah, let's go ahead and look for a pickup here. They were looking for Faker as they see him in the mid lane. They're like, well, the gambit's up.
I think what they were maybe hoping to do is mid lane doesn't get touched by anyone, and maybe they try to front door. I think that might have been the plan by aiming in Jelly, because they were looking for a front door if Faker wasn't in mid. With their newly spawned super minions. What? That's what it's called. You come to the front door.
Yeah. Just kick down the front door. Take out 2 Nexus turrets with backdoor protection. So, 5-minute Elder coming on in. We also do have another Baron. And it looks like maybe Afreeca are just going to try to lay down the law there. I mean, if they go up against 5-minute Elder and after 40 minutes Baron, I think you just lose anyway.
Yeah.
And maybe it's just the one pick in a dream. That might just be the play here for Afreeca.
And Keen still waiting on his death cap. Such a major item completion. SKT, it's going to be all too easy. Let's watch how fast this goes down. All right.
Well, there's a wall, but he's just saying, you know, you guys can have the Baron. I'm not going to get anywhere near it. Smite was early, by the way, this time around.
I think Afreeca are going to flip. You into gambling?
Well, sometimes in life, you have no choice but to gamble. You got to take that risk.
All right, well, Oh, Keen. Keen, can you perform a miracle?
He's going to go into the Shroud already and slow down Klid. Feels like Akali herself might just not be able to burst down one person all alone. It's going to come down to this.
Amada!
Oh, he almost got him. There
but
it
Jelly!
is. Jelly's going in. Not sure about that Fate's call. And that, well, that doesn't look good. As another seismic shove comes in and disappears. And there's no chance.
Oh.
Now they have Teddy in the backside. They had one shot, one opportunity. And this is exactly what they're going to get. It's going to be the death. And somehow SKT are going to come back in a crazy fiery game number 2. Was the 2-0, but man, recommend this one to your friends. What a game this was. Down to 45 minutes. SKT come back and take down the Nexus a second time.
And what a heroic turn of events as well. And it all came from that extremely decisive call to get the Baron.
Yeah.
That's where everything went downhill. And if you're Sun, you probably feel terrible right now. Sun ain't shining.
Yeah.
For Afreeca.
Yeah.
Sun wasn't shining a lot today. There was a lot of ocean drakes, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
So,
a lot of rain, a lot of clouds. But, man, oh man, SKT, things got a little bit shaky, especially that early game. Don't forget that they kind of got balked in the bottom lane. And that Kalista was looking super scary, so this was the last game of the regular season, and it does mean that some studying can be done before we do get into playoffs. And with this game, by the way, SKT is going to secure second place, whereas Afreeca going down 0-2, they might be the team going to relegations if KT can pull off a win tomorrow against Dublin.
Yeah. And that is going to be quite an exciting match. I'm sure a lot of people actually are going to want to watch that in anticipation to see what is going to be the end result. And it comes right after one of the greatest scientific things that will ever going to occur in our lifetime of Jin Air versus Griffin.
I feel like some new discoveries are going to be made.
Yeah, we get the cut scenes from Interstellar.
Yeah.
The never before seen footage of what ended up actually happening.
Yeah. Does feel that way. But I believe with that loss, Gen G are safe, by the way, if you're a Gen G fan out there. I believe that Afreeca are just, as a rule, below Gen G after losing 0-2. So really it comes down to, can KT win? If they win, they get 8th place. If they lose, they get 9th place. That's all that you need to worry about. Just look in here as actually, well, no, yeah, that is the way it is going to be. So there you have it, guys. We kind of have our 2019 playoffs being shaped up here, our playoffs and our relegations, but man, what a game that was. That was super fun. That
was really exciting. And also at the end there, Mata living with a sliver of HP.
Shows you the power of Talia, by the way.
Yeah.
If you can set up just areas on the map with little to no vision, you can sometimes just 100-0 one person.
That is a very cute character. Whatever.
I think you said that was like Hamtaro before.
It looked like
that.
Well, the other one looked like Hamtaro. I'm not sure what that is. That looks like Mog from Final Fantasy.
Okay.
You ever play Final Fantasies?
Yeah.
Okay. You know Mog?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, okay.
So yeah, there you have it. I mean, SKT, they looked really damn good. I mean, the early game was hard because, again, it was a Vayne going into a Kalista that got a lead early on in the game. But then from there, their ability to come back and some of the plays that they pulled off were really quite stellar. And Griffin, no doubt, going to be shaking in their booties.
Yeah, and this is where the game, I think most people probably would have imagined it was over. Because Dread had such a rough start, was salvaged a little bit by Sun in the mid lane, allowing him to get priority, get the Scuttlecrap on the left-hand side. But then right here, I mean, they were playing ping pong with a spider. Then the Weaver's Wall ended up coming in, and even though Dread went down, it came at the cost of Khan. Meanwhile, Keen up there in the top lane, able to get so much done. And then also, aiming was just so big on the Kalista. That Ren at 34. Oh, it feels terrible. I've been on the receiving end of that thing, actually. So it's quite brutal.
You never want that to happen to you, that's for sure. This is another fight where we're like, is Afreeca just going to win the game right here?
Yeah.
It got really close. They took out a couple of carries, but not quite able to end the game.
Yeah, Mata not quite able to get the dream engage that he probably would have liked, as Keen able to do so much and to get so much value for his team. This was another extremely scary situation here, where you can see aiming, he's not able to apply enough Ren stack, so it ultimately comes down to a smite fight. But watch as both junglers fail to get this, really.
Oh.
That's really cool. Khan able to auto-attack the Elder Dragon.
Yeah.
And pick that up there. And then right here, the hero smite. You're right, 34.
Yeah. Ren to 34, and then the smite from Clid.
One more auto, and then Ren. That's all it would have taken.
Yeah.
And then right here, Mata getting brought to almost the brink of death.
That's only Talia damage, by the way. Nobody else was in there.
And then it was all too quick for SK Telecom to pull the trigger and jump onto Afreeca. Dread tried his best to get away. And honestly, the hero play that he made getting the mid inhibitor, it was very cute. It was honestly a very, I guess, innovative play, actually, because it almost opened up the potential for a front door. As we see the damage chart. And I think you have to give the MVP of the game to Clid because of the steal.
Absolutely.
Against the Kalista Ren, the early game start. His pathing, some people might look at it as a little bit questionable, but honestly, I think it was pretty on point for the most part.
Yeah, no.
And so even though he doesn't have the most stellar or impressive damage chart, still ends up being fun.
Would have to agree with you. I mean, Lee Sin, in a very long 45-minute game, he's not going to be doing a ton of damage. So he did his job, and Clid is going to finish off the LCK Spring 2019 regular season with exactly 1,000 MVP points. He gets the gank on the Dread and the blue, makes it happen, comes down immediately to the bottom side, gets the counter gank, smites at 34. Calm, cool, collected, heartbeat at 55 the entire time. Didn't even care. So easy for that guy. And that's the reliable jungler that you need in playoffs and in international tournaments. So everybody's talking about Griffin and wanting to see them in an international tournament, but SKT is absolutely going to put up a massive fight. Yeah. And I can't wait to see if
King
that
Zone
best of 5 does happen. King Zone's the other team that we're like, maybe it's King Zone Griffin. You never really know.
Yeah. Well, we're going to head into the interviews here with the MVPs of tonight.
Yeah. So it is going to be, of course, Teddy, who did play the Ezreal and did 32.1 thousand damage in game number 1.
A bajillion.
Yeah, a bajillion, as we clarified earlier. And then, of course, Clid going to be joining us. I'm going to hand it over to Ji-sun for the interview.
Thank you very much, Sky. SK Telecom picked up 2-0 victory today, locking into second place of the Spring Split. And we're going to be joined by Teddy and Clid for the MVP interview. Congratulations, it was a long game. Second place of the regular split was a nice result, right? I'm really happy that we locked in the second place, and it was a 2-0 game. It was a clean win, so I'm really happy. What about you, Clid? How was Spring Split for you? Well, I can't say our performance was perfect, speaking of today, but I'm really happy that we ended the Spring Split in second place. I can't say today was a very decisive day. What did you prepare for today? Nothing really special, just as usual. We were doing what we used to do, and we were just doing our best. So let's talk about Ezreal first. So Ezreal cannot go with double tier build now, so you went with the CDR build. This is the item build that I used to go back in the days. So yeah, because I wasn't able to build up the Seraph, so I just went with the build that I used to play, the CDR build. Well, I have tried the Luden's Echo and also the GLP, so I think they're not really good, so I think the CDR build is the best.
일단 저 템트리 가려면은 적 팀에 AP가 좀 있어야 되긴 해요.
So the item build that I want today needs a lot of AP damage dealers in the opponents.
알겠습니다. 자, 1세트에서 탑에서 여러 가지 상황이 많은 그런 상황에서
There were a lot of things happening in the top lane. What was going on in the bot lane at the same time? Well, if I just play 50-50 in the laning phase, I knew that I will be able to carry the game, so I was feeling comfortable.
이런 얘기도 있었는데요. 그런 장면들이 참 많았어요. 여러 가지 준비가 돼 있는데 저희가 그
So we have some of the highlights here. Let's go through it together.
팀원들과 오늘 합도 정말 좋았고요.
The poke on Azrael was really strong.
천천히 포켓몬 사자 했는데
We said, let's just slowly poke them. We were landing all my skill shots, so we were able to win that fight. But Dreads just went back in, so I was a little bit surprised, but we were still having a cool head, and we were able to kind of react to that.
1, 2세트 다 리신이 열렸는데요.
And Clid, you played Lee Sin today. And they also opened the Lee Sin for 2 games in a row. Is that their mistake? Not really. I mean, I had a lot of mistakes today, so I cannot say that it was a bad decision to open my Lee Sin. Well, you were contributing a lot to the top lane, and then you just started to play around the bot lane, so what kind of it went back and forth? Well, game 1, there were a lot of offensive picks in the top lane, but game 2, it was Elise and Talia, so I knew that they were going to try a lot of turret types, so I just want to be going more defensively. So we have a few options from the coaching staff, but we wanted to go with the Vayne and Alista composition, so that's why we played Vayne and Alista. Well, we didn't punch a lot in the early games, but we knew that in the late phase of the game we were able to fight back, so I was quite confident. And we had this big steal from Lee Sin. Well, they actually had Kalista and Liz, so how were you able to pull that off? Well, the teammates told me to let's just try a team fight, but I just wanted to try a steal, but it was really lucky. And it was also very late phase of the game, so I had a huge damage, so I was able to kind of steal that Baron. After that, you went to the Elder Dragon, and the game's momentum went to the SK Telecom side. Thank you. So, who are you expecting to face at the playoffs? There are a lot of strong teams, so I cannot make any expectations. It's really hard to guess. What about you, Teddy? Any guess? Same with Clid. It's really hard to guess. And how are you going to prepare for the playoffs? Just as usual, getting rid of our mistakes, focusing on our own roles. But you have a long term until your next series to come up. How are you going to prepare during that long vacation? There won't be any competitive game for a long term, so I'll do my best to keep my guards. I'm just going to do my best to keep my concentration on. There are a lot of fans out here in the arena. Any message for them? Thank you always. Thank you for coming to support us. Thank you. That was a very concise one. And Clid, you want to add on to that? I mean, it was rainy today, but I'm really happy that a lot of fans showed up to support us. So we're going to try our best to keep playing at our best performance. We're going to miss you guys at SK Telecom. So hope you guys can practice a lot during your long break, and we'll see you at the playoffs. Thank you. This will be the end of the interview with Teddy and Clid from SK Telecom.
Thank you, Ji-sun, as always, for that wonderful translation. Well, Clid and Teddy, it almost felt like they wanted to give up zero information. They're like, we don't know who we're going to play against. We don't really know who's the strong team that's going to make it up. And I like that they keep it close to the chest, as they'll put it out there on the Rift when the time does come. As here you have it, guys. we do have our playoffs set, but not quite our relegations just yet.
Yeah, relegations are not set in stone yet. KT, you go up against Damwon, and that will decide their fate.
Yeah.
So
Gen G safe. As I mentioned before, this is the race now. Afreeca versus KT Rolster. And all that needs to happen is KT needs to defeat Damwon. If they lose, they're in relegations. If they win, then Afreeca are in relegations. Yeah. That's it.
So there is a lot of pressure on KT tomorrow, and Afreeca are Damwon fans. So that's the way to look at it tomorrow.
Yeah.
Final race to get out of the relegation zone. And Damwon, we'll see. They've been looking a little, I was really on the Damwon hype train for the better half of spring 2019.
Yeah.
But then the Dark Horse King Zone just started ramping up, and they really took over the spotlight. Damwon still no slouch, but
yeah. Well, Kingzone
KT,
obviously took over third place. I think we can all agree that Kingzone is the obvious, at least, third place. We'll have to wait until playoffs to see how it does pan out, but again, Sandbox and Damwon making it up together from the last relegations, and now they're playing against each other in the wild card match, so returning to fight off against each other. And we said it last time, we had MVP in the past, and they got relegated down. There are a lot of strong teams in the challengers that you don't want to face off against, and really any of these guys could go down to them. So you want to avoid that at all costs. So LS, any final words before we close out here?
No, I'm just super excited for Jin Air versus Griffin. We get to go beyond the event horizon.
For real, guys.
What's more exciting than that?
I know. It's going to be